I'm at the crossroads right now. And you know what happened? I went in there this week, and I was walking down the hallway to go to the clinic, like, you know, and guess what I do? I smashed my hand into this thing that was sticking out. My vision's not good anymore. I don't have peripheral vision. So I'm walking down the thing, boom! It's like this thing was sticking out of the wall. I hit it. I think I broke my hand. Well, it didn't hurt for like the next half hour, so.
Right.
And then I got home and I slept and I woke up.
Swollen, yeah.
You can tell?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. You're a medical scientist? Are you are you a doctor?
Yeah, I'm a doctor.
You're degreed and all that?
Yeah.
How do you know if it's broken and how do you know if it's sprained? Is there anything that you...
X-rays.
That's the only way to know the difference? And what's the difference in prognosis or whatever?
If it's broken, I think they have to set it. And if it's sprained, it'll heal on its own.
I don't really want to go back to county. How long should I wait, you think?
Google it.
Fuck. Alright, so there's that.
Dr. Google.
Dr. Google. Alright, so let's get into this thing.
Yeah.
So let's bring up the people up to speed. Let's start off on...
Shall I read some of my posts?
No, I'm going to tell them what you said. I don't want you going off forever. Oh, by the way, liberal world saviors. Now, last week...
Good, liberal world saviors.
Last week we were talking and I said that it's not a Jewish thing to...
celebrate.
You don't Jews, we don't celebrate this. Isn't that what we do? We don't celebrate, what are we talking about? The downfall of your enemy.
Yeah.
Right. And you said, blah, 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 and you were saying that we do, and blah, 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 right?
Yeah,
and
nothing wrong with rejoicing.
Right. But then you took it like to the next level, because I thought we were done with the topic, right? And you took it to a level, and the guy writes on his blog this week, and this is his quote. He says, the rabbis who say that we shouldn't celebrate the death of Osama are fake Torah scholars and fools.
Yeah.
So my first problem with that is that obviously he's included me in that, because I had just sat here in his, mansion 2 days earlier and said, and he knows that I'm a rabbi, and 2 days earlier I said it's not a Jewish thing, we shouldn't do that. And so he's basically saying Rabs is a fake Torah scholar and a fool.
Okay,
so I have a problem with that.
Okay, here's what I wrote exactly.
Okay.
I love this issue about...
No, I don't want you to read that whole
No, I'm just going to read the paragraph. One paragraph. First paragraph. Okay. I love this issue because it separates Torah scholars from pretend Torah scholars. Okay. Anyone who says that the Torah prevents us from celebrating the death of a terrorist is a pretend Torah scholar and a fool.
Well, I wouldn't say the word prevent, because prevent is like halakhically you're not allowed to do it.
Right.
I'm going to say it's not a prevent, it's more of an advice. So if someone actually says the Torah prevents them, then I would not be part of that, only because of the exactness of that word. Prevent means halakhically you're not allowed to do it. I don't think anybody on your page would say halakhically you're not allowed to do it, because it doesn't even talk about it in halakha, right? But the Torah certainly advises us, and there's plenty of things that we take to heart because the Torah advises us not to do, or to do, right? There's plenty of things that we do on a daily basis because the Torah advises us. So if you said that the Torah advises us not to celebrate the death of a terrorist is a pretend Torah scholar and a fool, then there's two things on this. One is, you're wrong, but the more important thing is that you've just insulted me personally. And I try to explain this to you, but you don't seem to understand. If you say that a person says something that is foolish, that's one thing. But it's a whole other thing when you say the person is a fool. And you don't seem to know the difference between that.
No, I know the difference, but for me there are some things that are so foolish that it makes the person a fool.
Okay. Fine. So Levi is basically saying that Rabbi Rabs is a pretend Torah scholar.
If you hold that the Torah prevents us from celebrating the death of the terrorist.
But the problem with your word prevent, it doesn't follow everything, because I don't think any of these people you quoted actually said it prevents. It just advises us not to.
Well, I linked two stories about rabbis, a lot of different rabbis, Orthodox, Reform, Conservative, saying that we should not celebrate the death of the terrorist.
Well, I say we should not either, but that's not the word prevent. Prevent means you're absolutely not allowed to do it.
Well, that was the word I used.
Okay, so again, he's got a problem.
I drew it narrowly. I said, people say Torah forbids
because then it's like
rejoicing in the death of a terrorist. I'm saying that person's a pretend Torah scholar.
Oh, okay, but that's
prevents or forbids. I'll use either of those two.
That's a red herring.
I didn't use discourage. I used prevent. That was the word I used.
Because that's a red herring. I don't believe anyone ever says it's prevented, unless you can find. Maybe I'm wrong, but everybody seems to say.
I'm not going to go through everything they said, but that was the line I drew.
Okay. But
someone says the Torah forbids this.
Okay.
Someone says the Torah prevents us from rejoicing in the death of a terrorist.
I would say it advises us not to, and somebody who follows the Torah seriously and wants to do the right thing, the Jewish thing, would not celebrate this. If you call that prevent, that's your words. I say prevent means the Torah says it's absolutely us, you're not allowed to do it. Under no circumstances you can't do it. But the Torah, does it say prevent? Is it in Shulchan Aruch? Not exactly. But I want to bring out, I have the Svarim. Okay. Well, I have to get up. Everybody's going to have to look at my Jew ass. Because I got to get up. All these Svarim down. Okay. Where should we start? Can I put the things I'm not using? I'll put them right here. How's that? Yeah. Okay. The first thing I want to bring out is, and there was something at the bottom of this that
I'll scroll down, or you can scroll down.
It takes me 5 hours with your mouse. At the very end, oh God, you wrote like a whole thing. I didn't read the whole thing, by the way. Oh, you added stuff after I read
it. What do you think I said, and I'll tell you exactly.
This is it. I give more weight to an early Gemara than a late Medrash. Okay.
And that's a quote from Rabbi Arikan. It's not.
Yeah, okay. Let's not use names here because I don't want to get in. Okay. But I will say that this particular person who you just mentioned, I've locked horns with him on Facebook before. I don't have a lot of respect for his opinion. Okay? He's a Zionist. And when someone argues on the side of for religious Zionism, you're 4 seconds away from getting blocked. I can't, because I have zero tolerance for that kind of stupidity. Okay, so I said it. I don't have any respect for my own. I consider him a fake Torah scholar and perhaps a heretic, because I don't know him well enough, but I know that he spouts a lot of heresy and stupidity on Facebook, and I've dealt with it head on. Just the fact that you quoted him here means nothing to me. It hurts your case. Okay. But so don't mention names. That's the way. I'm just going to get in more trouble. Okay. This is what's called the Mishnah. Okay? In Avos 4:19, I set it to right there. I'm going to read it to you. Okay? Because Shmuel HaKatan, who was one of the help me out.
For the Tanaim.
Was he a
Tana?
He's a Tana.
Okay, a Tana.
I think I know who you're thinking of.
Okay, so Mishnah means that he was a rabbi of the Mishnaic period.
But he was a fake Torah scholar and a fool. He was a pretend Torah scholar and a fool, according to Levi ben Abraham. Because it says, Shmuel HaKat Noimer. Samuel the small Sam said, Binful oivcha al tismach. In the downfall of your enemy, oivcha, your enemy, do not rejoice. Okay? Now, what do the Mefarshim say? What do the commentators on the side say? We'll look at them together. Shmuel HaKatan Omer, Ragil Haya Loimer, he was accustomed to saying, Mikrazeh. He used to say this. He used to walk around saying this. Shalo Yichshol Behadavar Sheragilin B'nei Adam Lahakshal Boy. That he didn't want people to stumble on this, if you will, because many people were stumbling at it, and he used to go around rebuking everybody. He used to go around saying, "Don't rejoice on the death of these terrorists."
No, he didn't say wicked. He said your enemy. He doesn't say Rasha. He says your enemy.
Okay, we're going to get into that in a second. But your enemy, right? Somebody who you consider your enemy.
Right, don't rejoice.
I'm going to include Osama bin Laden in that.
He's not your enemy. He hasn't done anything to you.
Oh, come on. He's declared war on us. He wants an island. I put all these guys, Hitler, Saddam, all these guys, I put them in the same category.